Happy Sunday to everybody in the Wisconsin area. Why? Because the Packers did a shutout on the Bills. Mr. Clay Matthews did not get flagged for tackling a quarterback for once. Thank God. Yes, we know Aaron Rodgers got also sacked too, but we won. That's all that freaking matters. And it was against the Bills. Take the victory in. Soak it in, man. That's what I have to say about this. This is indeed the proud Wisconsin-branded game changer, ladies and gentlemen. I am indeed Nate the effing Great, being joined here by my guest host, the Adam Grace to my Ben McCoy. Yes, I am making an Art of War reference because of an awesome weekend that we had. Mr. Agent Cooper, Max Beatty, thank you for joining me here, my friend.
I don't watch football. Just to rain on your little state pride parade.
It's fine.
No, I didn't, I was aware of the game. I heard they won a little while ago, and I'm like, cool, good for them. Oh, it was a shutout. Nice. I'm not a sports person. I like to watch wrestling, and
You like sports entertainment, but not
wrestling. I used to watch baseball when I was a kid. And, every once in a while, I'll keep up with the Brewers, which is pretty easy. They lose mostly. But, yeah, that's about it. So, but, hey, yeah, like you said, go Pack. Glad they won. I'm pretty sure everyone's in a good mood today.
Yes, that is basically putting that to the... And actually, it's kind of crazy. We were listening to... one of our good friends, shout out to the Kings of the Rings podcast, King Ricky,
what up?
Dusty Dave, as well as the genius, Mr. Will.
The streak is over!
Yeah. If you don't know what Max is talking about, go check it out. Literally one of my favorite moments.
9 months and the baby is born! Direct quote. Well, not direct quote. I'm paraphrasing, but still.
Either way, it's literally one of the best things. So shout out to the Kings of the Rings podcast. You guys are awesome. Also, Will, you are going down. But I will talk more about that.
You had to get the call out in there.
I will, but I will tell you guys why in a bit, because we still have quite a bit to talk about, including a fantastic Lucha Underground episode, a great night of independent wrestling, and also talking about a lot of the stuff that went on with wrestling this week. Let's just get right into it.
Start with SmackDown.
Okay, we'll start with SmackDown.
Oh, I mean, we're skipping Raw.
We're skipping Raw completely?
Altogether. We don't have to talk about it.
We did talk a bit about it when we were on our way to the independent show. And I actually think that it might be good to get your thoughts again.
All right, let's talk about Raw.
All right, we'll only talk about a couple things that happened on Raw. Because there was at least, I could almost name about 5 things that actually happened on Raw that were actually bearable and watchable.
The Connor's Cure thing.
I mean, God, always.
Holy crap, they just, that was really cool. The handprint car, that's pretty slick. The kids getting the replica belts, I don't care who you are, you can't boo that. And if you did, fuck you, you heartless monster.
I couldn't have put it better.
Come on. Literally, how you gonna boo cancer-surviving kids? Come on.
You make a fair point. Another thing that happened on here was the major controversy that took place. Well, I mean, it has been made into a controversy with the incident that happened with Brie Bella. She literally knocked out Liv Morgan. And honestly, a lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are pissed at Brie Bella, saying that she's not a safe worker. And I will give my 2 cents on this, and definitely you had a really good analogy about this.
I got a thing.
So, with this, it is one of those things where it was a bit of a freak accident. These things do happen, and I do agree with what a lot of wrestlers have said. It's these accidents happen in the ring. It's sometimes beyond our control. There's some people that, got, injured. Taz got a broken neck from, I think it was a botched suplex or something like that. It was a back suplex, or maybe a...
I think people... I'm pretty sure it was a suplex. I'm sure, listeners, wherever you upload this, there's comments, right?
Right.
If someone fact check us, we don't got any problem being, called out. If we're wrong, we're wrong. But I'm pretty sure it was a suplex. I don't know if it was I think it might have been Northern Lights or something, but it was some kind of suplex. It
was either a suplex or maybe it was a pile driver.
No, I'm pretty sure it wasn't a pile driver. This is not meant to be a knock on Taz, but Taz is not a tall man. He's not. Honestly, if he's fighting guys that are usually the dudes throwing around pile drivers are pretty tall, and And if guy's pretty tall, that actually makes it safer for him being so short.
Right.
So, like, again, I'm not trying to insult the man. I mean, like, I'm 5'6". I'm short myself. People our height, it is safer taking a pile driver because of where our head's going to end up. So I'm pretty sure it wasn't a pile driver. I'm not, like, obviously, no, it could still happen in that instance, but...
Right.
Not the point.
Yeah. So, yeah, that happened. Liv got knocked out. A lot of people are possibly stating that she may have a concussion. I haven't heard too many reports on this.
I haven't heard one way or the other. I mean, I've heard some people say, yeah, but
after the incident happened, it was basically with the Daniel Bryan kicks that Brie was doing. The S kicks or the it kicks, whatever fan base that you are on, especially.
I'm on both, so the yit kicks.
The yit kicks.
Yes kicks. Let's go with the yit kicks. Yit.
Oh my gosh! If this becomes a thing, that'd be amazing.
Hashtag yit.
So
get it trending, people. Hashtag yit.
So Brie Bella hit the yit kicks on Liv. 1 or 2 hit Liv Morgan square in the head. She got knocked out. She drags Liv Morgan over to the corner. It should have been a moment where I do agree with a lot of people that the ref should have checked on her, should have done something more, something that would have definitely benefited Liv Morgan a bit. And then there was a point where actually Brie did a stiff punch to Ruby. I think it was Ruby Riott, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things where it's. There's a part of me that, understands where a lot of people are coming from, taking the side of Brie where it's like, it's a freak accident, it happens. But I will say this, that if you get too emotionally invested in the matchup, that's not a good thing. And I know I can relate to that because there have been times during when I was doing the backyard deal that I did get a little too emotionally invested and I almost ended up hurting a lot of people. So I understand where, that's coming from. And when I had to learn, hey, just tone it down a bit. It's okay. It's not it's not it's not one of those things where it's worth killing somebody over.
Oh yeah.
And trust me, I did not kill anybody. I didn't break any bones. But I will say this: that I did.
That we're legally allowed to talk about.
there may be like a couple random corpses that just got randomly buried somewhere. No, I'm kidding.
Our lawyers have advised us. No,
but
we have lawyers.
That's funny. Like
please
we can afford.
Don't sue us. We actually don't have lawyers. I promise you. I've never done anything, and I'm poor.
But yeah. So it's kind of one of those interesting things where. It is a 50-50 deal. I guess I'm still on the fence about it because I understand where everybody's coming from. People have definitely been saying, well, what if, it was Daniel Bryan that did these kicks? Here's the thing. Daniel Bryan has been doing moves like this for years. He knows how to do them. Brie is not exactly a well-seasoned veteran, even though people are saying, she's a legend with her sister Nikki, which I will add, Nikki, I believe, has gotten just better and better in the ring, which is a bit of a shock because I would have thought that after having that I think it was a procedure or something done on her neck, she would have probably slowed down or something like that. No, she's still as good as she was back when she first came out. So to see her, still improving, and to see her sister kind of, slowing down and kind of messing up a bit. I mean, we've seen a couple of them. We've seen her do, almost hurting herself with suicide dive attempts. Now this whole thing with the it kicks, giving a punch to Ruby Riott. It's one of those things where it's kind of getting scary on how accident prone she could be. But I want to know your thoughts on Brie.
Boy. Okay, I before I say any of this, I want to make it very clear that I'd be saying this about any wrestler. I was saying some of this stuff when Seth Rollins landed his unfortunate buckle bomb on Sting. A lot of people have said over the years that, yeah, power bombs are inherently dangerous. Buckle bombs are actually more dangerous. Yeah, you're hitting that padded part of the turnbuckle, but, you can't really do much to protect your neck and shoulders since you're kind of being shoved / thrown / spiked down. A lot of people came down on Seth, and I was one of those people. You've been doing this for over a decade now. You really maybe you should have dropped this sooner. A lot of people came down on WWE. I did the same thing. Every time this kind of happens, when it's someone who's been doing it for a long time, when someone's new, or green, as we like to say, it's more understandable. If Brie Bella had been doing this, a year, maybe 2, maybe even 3, okay, ease off. Maybe get some retraining, take some off time, a little bit of time off TV. That sucks, but, there's clearly an issue that needs to be addressed. And you're still rough around the edges. Yeah, it sucks. Someone got hurt, but we get it. We get it. I wouldn't be angry. I would be, upset in the sense that, like, shit, Liv Morgan didn't deserve that. That sucks, but what are you going to do? Brie Bella's been working for WWE mostly as an in-ring performer for a decade. 10 years. She is not green anymore. She is not, not rough around the edges, I guess you could say, is up for debate, but she's not, for the purposes of my argument. She's been doing this for a long time, and I know she hasn't been doing the yit kicks for a long time, but her husband is the guy who brought him into WWE. She's been doing him for, at least a year now. I mean, and when you look at her history of being so botch happy, not even necessarily like, oh god, she hurt someone, just stuff like her completely biffing. Like, wow, that made absolutely no contact, that was not even close, or like, wow, you cannot throw a clothesline to save your life, that kind of stuff. Or her just being kind of clumsy and boring. But this is different. Someone got hurt, and from the way it looked to me, and maybe I'm wrong, someone fact check me in the comments or whatever, but it looked like Liv Morgan wasn't just knocked out, she was knocked unconscious. Someone who's knocked out, like you talk about that in terms of boxing, you notice that their eyes are still open, they're still kind of moving around, but they can't stand up, they're not responding to a stimuli, they really can't feel pain. Your nervous system is thrown into complete whack. Being knocked unconscious is, you are actually knocked unconscious. This is where, to me, it looked like she was straight up knocked unconscious by this. There's a difference between, like, if you're throwing a kick so hard that it knocks someone out, that's bad enough. If she was legitimately knocked unconscious for any period of time, that, like, pretty much is sealing the deal on that concussion rumor. But on top of that, it's, why are you hitting someone that hard? Like, for crying out loud, there's a reason why most of the time you see knockouts in shit like UFC or boxing and not people getting knocked unconscious. It happens, but, like, a lot of times for crying out loud, they're actually trying to fight for real, and they're not knocking each other out, like, completely out. Like, I'm sorry, I'm super down on her on this one. Like, this is terrible. Like, if you're a vet, you've been doing this for a long time, you should know way better. This is not acceptable. I'm not saying, like, oh, are you saying she should stop wrestling? No. I mean, I'm not a fan of hers. I don't like her in the ring aside from this. I don't like her character. I think she's emblematic of, like, all the worst of the Divas era shit, but, like, no, you need to stop doing these kicks, you need to stop doing suicide dives, you need to stop doing this crap that you clearly can't do. That is me on that one. I'm sorry, but, like, and I know there are people defending her. People aren't coming down on her because it's not an isolated incident. People aren't coming down on her, because she's a diva. People aren't coming down on her because she's a woman. People are coming down on her explicitly because she knocked someone the fuck out. Like, no, it's not, this can't happen. And if anyone else did it, like, let's be real here, like, hell, I will go this far. If Becky Lynch knocked out Charlotte Flair on accident like that, oh, no, I'm pretty sure Becky could kiss her title reign goodbye at that point. Next, like, that Super Showdown match, guess who's walking away with a shiny new title reign? Like, I'm just saying, like, anybody else would be punished. Brie isn't. That's what I think really pisses a lot of fans off, is that, I mean, for crying out loud, if Roman Reigns did this, he'd probably at least get chewed the fuck out. It's just, men's roster, women's roster, tag roster, doesn't matter. Anyone else would at least get screamed at, but not Brie. Like, that's not even, that's, to me, and, like, this is just my interpretation of it, to me, that's fucking favoritism. She's married to one of your most popular wrestlers, and she's the backbone of your super popular reality show, so of course you're gonna protect her. And no, that's not okay in my book.
I honestly couldn't put it better myself, so I think from there we got to move on. Let's talk about something that's a bit more positive on Raw. How about that tag team title match that we had with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler against the Revival?
#Top Guys!
Oh my gosh.
Best tag team. Still still best tag team in WWE. It's like, oh, but they didn't win. This was a prime case of looking strong in defeat. They did not need to win. They needed to do something that they haven't done on even SmackDown since they left NXT. And that's look fucking good. Look credible. You want to know why, in terms of the story of the match, you want to know why Drew Mac and Dolph walked away with their belts? Because they're heel bastards, and they managed to outsmart them. That doesn't make, and not in a way that makes the Revival look stupid, but in a way that just meant Dolph and Mac were they were the better guys that night. Or, they're heels, so still assholes, but you see what I mean. Yeah. And I'm just like, no, that is looking good in defeat. That is, please give me more of that match. Please, at some point, put those belts on them. Let them be what they were in NXT, and just, so much hope. It's one of the few things about Raw that instilled me with hope. That is how good that match was. If you've not seen that match, fucking find that match and watch it. It's so good.
I 100% agree. And honestly, this could actually be something very interesting that they could do with Drew and Dolph, because I've been contemplating this, and this will also tie into the next deal that we'll have to talk about when it comes to the build-up that they have between the Dogs of War versus the Hounds of Justice, basically is how they're calling it. Is that obviously one of the two is going to have to turn on the other. I think that the best way to do that is that Drew's going to have to turn babyface, and Dolph has to stay heel. How do you do that? Well, have Dolph Ziggler do shady stuff. And honestly, it's one of those situations where Drew, yes, he is a heel, but he still has a credible aspect about him to where he can beat anybody within an inch.
And he looks like it.
He's able to,
letting the body hair grow out. Like, I'm not trying to be gross or anything, but honestly, just real talk, just on an aesthetic level, the body hair grown out, letting him grow his hair back out, giving the wild facial hair, plus with, he looks legitimately jacked. Like, the dude looks like he's been working out way harder than ever. And it's just, he doesn't necessarily look cut. He's like that unrefined, like barbarian kind of build. The dude looks like that Claymore kick could, cave your skull in. And I could, him going, not even necessarily face, but, just tweener and just being like, hey, guess what? I want the Intercontinental Championship. Guess what I'm fucking taking? I'm like, I will get behind that Drew Mac 1,000%. Yeah. I mean, it's so perfect. It's like it's aligned. It's like he's the chosen one. Oh, bringing it back with a reference. Oh, that was actually a bad time for Drew McIntyre. He's gotten so good, though. So good.
And probably one of the reasons why he's gotten so good is the fact that also he doesn't have that baby face.
Oh god, yeah.
It did not work for him.
Honestly, getting cut and going around Indies and Impact like he did, that was probably the best thing for him.
Definitely do agree with that.
No offense. I'm definitely not saying cut him. Do not cut him now. Holy shit, don't cut him now.
No. But yeah, just still have Drew McIntyre be a legit badass, while Dolph Ziggler, he's not quite that kind of credible deal.
Hey, wait a minute. You could have him be kind of like the dude version of Becky Lynch, because he's Scottish, and it's a thing because they have accents.
That was good. I'll give you that.
I'm clever.
you do have your moments, and this is one of them.
Yay!
So, yeah, I would actually have Dolph Ziggler still do heel, shenanigans. Maybe using the ropes, pulling the tight, stuff like that. Drew doesn't notice it at first. After a while, Drew starts catching on. He's like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah, I want to win, but not like this.
I just want to beat people to death. I don't want to fucking cheat. He's got to keep that brutal edge, though. Because, dude is a hard-ass motherfucker. You need to keep that. So it's yeah, I got no problem, beating someone to a bloody pace, but I don't need to fucking cheat to do it. What?
And, that would, of course, bring the cracks in the team. Yeah. Because Dolph will just be like, hey, a win's a win. What are you going to do? And then, maybe eventually this costs them the tag team titles.
Yeah, because there's that, can they coexist? And also, for those of you who are going to point out, but Drew has helped them cheat before. WWE's never cared about recent continuity before. Why should I? Fuck it. He just decides to have honor one day. It's kind of like how most of the baby faces sometimes just decide to not be assholes.
Yeah. Definitely do agree with that.
This way, it's kind of just being honest. Like you could even have him mention it. Like just be like, I know we did. Like, what's your problem now? Like we used to do, we've done this in the past, and it's like, yeah, I know, but we've been getting so much better. We don't need to do it anymore, and I don't want to do it anymore. Just like do that. There you go. There's like your little patch, and then it's like, okay, that makes sense. I mean, he's still an asshole, and he's still like kicking the crap out of people, but he's got like a code of honor to him. He's like, he's like, here, fuck it, I'll make a nerd reference. He's like Vegeta at that point.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Then he goes Super Saiyan! No!
Legit, I think I might have to do that as like a tweet for this week. Anytime I see Drew McIntyre, it's like, props to, Agent Cooper, 1989. Drew McIntyre is the Vegeta
He's
of
the
WWE.
Scottish Vegeta, and now I'm picturing Vegeta. I can never watch Dragon Ball Z again. It's just gonna be, like, Oi, Kakarot! I'm like, oh god, I can't believe I just did that. Oh my god. I poisoned the well! Oh
Yeah,
god.
it's
he would go Super Saiyan and his beard would be blonde. Please, move on! I can't stop. It's a thing now.
It's kind of interesting because it's kind of where it's leading to, is that there may indeed be cracks, not only with...
they're trying to do it, like, with the whole, like, them playing Dean against everybody, and then them playing him and Ziggler against each other.
And one of the things that really does well with, the fact that, Braun and Dolph and Drew are together is that the reason why heels are so good is that they do, in fact, make points. They do, in fact, make those points that, hit them.
Sometimes that's the problem, is that they're the ones making not just points, but, like, legitimate, like, not even you're an asshole, but you're right, but just, like, you're just right.
You're just right, and I hate you for bringing up this sad fact. Of course,
Kevin Owens, like, probably Kevin Owens, The Miz, and Tommaso Ciampa, probably, like, the three best modern examples.
Definitely. I definitely do agree with that.
And honestly, like, no joke, I'd probably throw Alexa Bliss in there. Like, just based on her promos and her character work. Like, it's too perfect.
Yeah, I definitely could get
I love her, but she just... She's like a high school bully, but it leans into that whole... She's an adult, and that's, like, super petty for an adult to be acting like that, and it, like, clicks. It's like those four... Her, Miz, Ciampa, and...
Miz?
Miz, Ciampa, Alexa Bliss, and Kevin Owens. Like, they just... Natural-born heels.
Yeah.
Never, especially Ciampa, never turn Ciampa face! Oh my god, don't!
He is... I think he's at the point of no return where he is definitely going to be heel for, like, ever. Kind of like how Vicky Guerrero, where, they tried the babyface deal.
I want him to be NXT champion forever. Like, I want to... Like, do I boo him when he comes on screen, even when I'm in the comfort of my own home? You bet I do. I want to boo him forever. I want to boo him till he retires. Make him champion. Like, he's the forever champion. Like, it's like, fuck San Martino. I've got, like, a decade-long reign. Eat a dick.
Well, I mean, they do have the North American Championship, so they do have that title to really start building up. So they could probably start building that up while having Tommaso Ciampa continue his reign as NXT champion. So it could work. But getting back to Raw, they definitely did try to make cracks with the Shield, but also Seth Rollins started making cracks with Drew McIntyre, and that I thought was great. It was one of those things where it's like, this is new.
And I have to admit, I don't buy for a second them, like, they're putting cracks in the Shield. Like, no, that's not going to happen. They're not going to break up the Shield. I totally buy it when, like, especially since it was Dean that went over. And, like, just that whole thing with him and I forget what it was with McIntyre, right?
Yeah.
Like, that whole bit was just gold. Like, it was really well done. Great acting from both guys. So it just, because it's literally not a recently reformed mega group,
right.
It's more believable.
Yeah. I mean, it might also be the fact that the Shield is, a quote-unquote brotherhood, and, brothers will fight, but then they eventually, make up. I mean, honestly...
hell, Seth, like, fucking stabbed him in the back, full-on Judas style, and they're friends again now, so...
Yeah. So, more than likely, we're probably going to see the Dogs of War breaking up before the Shield breaking up. But then again...
I'm still calling them Team Hollywood Monsters because of the association with Braun Strowman. I don't care. Dogs of War, no. Hollywood Monsters, eat a dick.
Fair enough. And this, of course, translated into what was going to be the main event matchup, which would be Baron Corbin picking 2 partners to take on the Shield. We finally get a good AOP matchup. Authors of Pain. They get involved in the main event.
He's so short!
Oh, that's right.
What I forget, was it Drake Maverick?
Drake Maverick.
Also, that is
the Spike Dudley of the modern era right now.
First off, that is the most pro wrestling name I have ever heard. Like, that is more pro, like, that is, it's like seeing a character in an anime that's got, like, red spiky hair that's, like, multi-layered and, like, shoots up in the back, and you're like, that is the most anime thing I've seen all day. Like, that is the most pro wrestling. Hulk Hogan has a less pro wrestling name than Drake Maverick. And he's, like, no offense, Rockstar Spud is fucking great. I love you, man, but oh my god, pairing him with AOP, it's just, he's so tiny! I know, I wasn't making, like, I'm short too. I feel like I could throw him. Like a lawn dart.
Oh my gosh, you.
I'm a bad person.
Oh man,
I'm sorry, guys. It's I can't.
It's beautiful.
I can't.
No, I agree with you.
It's like, I swear to God, it's like, I've been watching a lot of animated stuff lately, but so I feel like it's something that would happen in a cartoon.
It's like literally they had like this like, you know, attire that they accidentally just threw into the washer and the dryer for too long and it shrunk, and they're just like, huh, you know, it'd be really cool if we had like a third member here that was like that. Who could really fit that? They went through like all the guys in 205 Live and it perfectly matched for Drake Maverick, and they're just like, you know what? Come be our manager.
I realized something that I can't unsee now.
What?
So we talked. I mentioned it like the last time we were together. But like that one cartoon I used to watch, Steven Universe, they did a wrestling episode. It was actually really like spot on stuff. But like the characters can like all magically like shapeshift and stuff. So like one of them shapeshifts into like this giant fucking like 8 foot tall power wrestler, and then you got the main character Steven, who's fucking 10. Chilling, like, just standing right next to it. It's like, that is the size difference. Drake Universe. Oh my god, I made it even more pro wrestling. Oh god. So yeah, anyway, there was a match, actually, by the way, after they came out.
Jesus.
Oh my god, I am going to hell.
But, it was a really good, you know, matchup for them. Again, we complain a lot about the Revival not getting, like, you know, put in good spots. This is one of those moments where AOP really looked good. I think that, you know, that last chapter they did to, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was either Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose on the outside was just beautiful. It was one of those moments where it's like, yes, this is what we need for them to feel like a threat. Yes. And the fact that they also did not get pinned, that just means, hey, they have more to work with. Now they have that main event rub. Maybe they'll be taken more as a serious threat to, you know, oh gosh, the moment that we get Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre versus AOP, I don't know if I can handle. I
still want Revival versus AOP for the Raw Tag title.
I think we'll get that definitely
so
down the line. But
I want it to be the Revival dethroning AOP to get the titles, because I am that person. I don't just want Revival to like, oh, they managed to retain, they survived. No, motherfucker, they dominate. Hashtag top guys. Hashtag no flips, just fists. I might like the Revival. They might be like one of the best tag teams on the planet. Don't at me. Don't fight me. It's just truth.
Just the way it is.
Objective. It's like saying the sun rises in the morning, or like saying Shawn Michaels was a dick in 1997.
I understand.
There you go. Where you're coming from. There you go.
So that is kind of all I can think about as far as the whole.
There's the rating.
Yeah, do we want to talk about that?
So Raw kind of drew its lowest rating, like, in its 25-year history. Like, I've seen conflicting reports on the exact number. Again, fact check me. 2.45 is what I saw for the rating, which, ouch. That is painful. Like, there's a difference between dipping below that 3 and dropping nearly half a whole fucking rating point below it. Like, that is that's like hundreds of thousands of people. Because, it's not obviously individual people. If there's 2 TVs in the same house both watching it, it only counts the one household. But, like, by the end of the week, including, like, DVR and all that other shit, you couldn't even crack 2.5. Like, that's hundreds of thousands of households that did not fucking bother.
Sheesh.
Like,
that's scary.
Like, SmackDown Live apparently took a small ratings hit. Like, not a big one. Like, a noticeable one, like, enough for people to go, hey, SmackDown Live had a low rating this week. And maybe that has something to do with it. The fact that it didn't take a massive tanking like Raw did, I think is indicative of how good SmackDown is. And how even if people are getting fed up with Raw for, sure, a myriad of reasons, that they aren't fleeing the shows that they themselves have been saying are good. So maybe that'll help send a message. Maybe the low rating coupled with that will do something. I kind of unfortunately doubt it. It's really hard though to, like, it's hard enough to get people to watch your network shows, like to get those ratings, to reclaim them when they drop. I mean, yeah, Raw's done it a million times at this point, but it's like, that is a pretty big fucking drop. Like, the last time we saw huge nosedives like that were when they were losing ratings between, like, 2005 and, like, 2010. And remember, like, 2005, they were still pulling down, like, 4s and 5s and shit, so they lost millions that time. And notice how they never got that back. I know this is less, but...
Let's not make this a trend.
Yeah, it might start getting to a point where USA is actually like, hey... Yeah, you're still our top-rated show, but it's getting really iffy. And if they start getting shifty with Raw, the advertisers are going to get shifty with Raw. The sponsors are going to get shifty with Raw.
It causes a chain reaction, basically.
Exactly. Now, admittedly, I actually don't think that the cancellation or death of Raw would be the end of WWE. SmackDown still pulls in the good ratings. The network's got well over, like, 2 million subscribers. Okay. There's so many contracts tied up in them. And they would probably just find some new show. Let's be completely real here. There'd be probably, like, half a year without a show, maybe a year, and then bam, Monday would have a new show.
Yeah. Well, SmackDown also has that contract next year with Fox.
True. And that's a separate network. And if Raw stays on USA... literally it wouldn't even matter, because it's like, yeah, one of the other, like, 5 biggest channels has our other show. Like, I mean, at that point, I don't know what they do. Would they make a Monday night show to make a contract with Fox at that point? I don't know, but everyone likes to think, oh, man, the death of Raw is the death of WWE. No, it would kick them, like, let's be real here. That is the financial equivalent of getting, like, nailed in the nuts when you aren't expecting it. Like, right. It would suck. They would drop to their knees. It'd be bad. Wouldn't kill them. But the other problem is that also really, like, don't get me wrong, SmackDown's great. That really shrinks their minimum base a lot, which means they've got a lot more to lose, and everything would be riding on, like, one show. So it doesn't kill them. It's still in a bad position. Like, and plus, it'd be the death of Raw. Like, I don't care how bad Raw has ever gotten, and let's be real here, Raw in 1995 and 1996 was way worse than it is today. I'm sorry, I grew up watching that. I'm not going to defend it. It was terrible. Even as a kid, I was getting bored. Like, people would tell stories about, oh, I would switch between Raw and Monday Nitro. Yeah, I didn't. I just watched Nitro. Nitro, even at its... back then, yeah, it could be dumb and weird, but it was entertaining. Raw wasn't.
Yeah.
But, like... they got to do something, because that is too big of a drop at a period for a network show that is pretty critical. Like, just... I mean, I don't know what they could do, but they got to do something. I think we're at the point, I know we've said it a million times, ever since they went PG, hell, even before that, something needs to happen. We're getting, like, as streaming and everything else starts to slowly... every day, more and more eclipse. Like, it's already kind of eclipsed with network TV, but as it does it more and more, I don't know. Like, I don't think the network has enough subscribers that they could just move Raw or everything else to the network,
right,
and have it be sustainable. Like, they could if they severely dropped their budget. Like, that is the only way, because then they'd be losing advertisers and sponsors like fucking crazy. And considering some of the actual good shit that WWE does as a company in terms of their charity work, especially since most of the money that they donate goes directly to the charity. It doesn't go through any like taxes or anything like that. It just goes right in there, which is what most charities need. It'd be a huge shame, but this is not good, people. This is really, really bad.
Yeah.
2.45 is what I'm hearing. If that is the case, that is 0.55 drop at minimum. What the fuck?
Well, you know what they could do?
What?
Give us something more entertaining segments like Truth TV. Yes, I struck a nerve. We're going into SmackDown. We're talking about Truth TV.
Why are we talking about the man who is the death of my dreams?
Because R-Truth is amazing. He's a 2-time NWA champion, and he main evented a pay-per-view called Capital Punishment with the most absurd gimmick, but it was one of the best gimmicks. Little Jimmy Forever.
No, if we're going to talk about SmackDown, we got to talk about this.
You know what?
We got to talk about Becky first.
Okay, fair enough. So what did Miss Becky do? Well, let me tell you. Let's start with this. Becky in this show basically, I think she like interrupted. What was it, like a photo shoot with Charlotte?
Yep.
And they actually took pictures of that. It's on the WWE.com deal, and it's beautiful. It's one of those things like, oh my god, this is great. I love one of the quotations that somebody has where so I think it was either Becky or it was somebody else that made the joke that had, you know, Becky over Charlotte holding the belt, and basically the caption says, "This is for making me do that T shit all the time." It was amazing.
Also, just that line when she's like stepping on Charlotte, like, "Take the champ's photo." Like, oh my god.
Just Becky forever. But
also, not to be crude, dem pants. Dem pants. Very tight. I love you, Becky.
Becky, we both love you. Just choose one of us. Give one of us a rose.
Not not even that. Just I love you. You know, Becky Lynch, Rebecca Quinn. God damn, you're like one of the best goddamn things in WWE right now. Holy shit.
Yeah, I will definitely agree with that. But it didn't stop there, because my good co-host mentioned that Miss Rebecca Quinn had some very interesting comments to say about the Super Showdown poster.
Oh, yeah.
What was the exact tweet that you have here?
Let's just give some context here. So, Becky Lynch tweets a photo of the Super Showdown poster.
Right. I'm
sure most of you are aware of the Super Showdown. God, why is this so hard to say? Super Showdown. That is happening. It's in Sydney, right?
Yeah, it's in Australia.
Yeah, it's in Australia. So, and of course, you know, it's a pretty basic poster. Part of it's red, part of it's blue. It's got the Super Showdown logo, picture of the arena, kind of in the backdrop of the logo, and then it's got all the people that are going to be on the show. And if you look at it, next front row, it's got Seth Rollins, it's got Ronda Rousey, it's got Triple H, Undertaker's front and center, and then John Cena, Roman Reigns. And you want to know the part about Becky Lynch's tweet that burns a bit here? Charlotte Flair is in the front row. Becky Lynch, the SmackDown Live Women's Champion and Charlotte Flair's opponent at this show, is not on the poster. She posts a picture of this poster with the simple comment of, "And people wonder why I think I've been overlooked." Oh damn! Oh damn! Oh damn! Like, I would not put it past WWE to have literally done the poster like that intentionally, like working with her. But this feels like there's something about it that feels so organic that I am legit. And considering some of the shit that like Becky's been posting to like she straight up posted a thing to Instagram with the word, you know, of her standing over Charlotte with the words "you bitch" on it. I'm just like, Becky did not come to play. Like, I'm pretty sure this is legit, and like even if she's playing into her character, it's oh damn son. It's like, oh, isn't this like more negativity? It's like, no, this is not negative. Becky Lynch is coming for people's lives today, and it is like she's handing out death. It's great.
Damn right, it's great.
Straight fire indeed. I hope that she just fucking dicks on Charlotte that whole match. Just annihilates her and like does a Jericho cocky pin. Like full on, leaning back, crossed arms, like, yeah. That's all I want. That or like she nails her down, grabs the belt, holds it up, and like 1 foot on the chest pin. Like one of those two.
Oh my gosh, a man could dream, and a little boy by the name of Agent Cooper is hoping for this to happen because literally it'll be the one thing that'll make him
Little
famous.
boy, yeah. Sure, you get me back with the short jokes. That's it. This motherfucker.
So, I mean, yeah, I am looking forward to this matchup. They are finding more and more ways to get us invested in this. I do have some comments about that when we do go into the prediction part of Super Showdown.
Okay.
But yeah.
Specifically for the Becky Charlotte match?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Some of them you might not like, and then there might be some that you would literally want to kill me. But we'll get to that.
I'm not liking how this is going. I can already tell. I'm going to be angry tonight.
So, obviously, like I mentioned before, we started off with Truth TV. Basically, Truth made this deal that, oh, hey, I beat The Miz. If it was for a title, I'd be champion right now. But since you have a show, I get your show. So basically, it evolves basically into this deal where R-Truth has Daniel Bryan. They're doing a great little segment there. They do a little bit of an interview deal. Also, Carmella with that new hair, though. She actually looks hotter than she is as a blonde.
Okay. Since I've talked a lot, and I do mean a lot of shit, I've chatted a lot of shit about Carmella. So let me even the books out. I have never said anything about her character work because I actually think she's a really good actress, especially since she dropped that accent. The accent was not working for her. You could tell she's not good at voices, and that's not a knock on her. Like, I suck at doing voices too. It's fine. Some people just don't have that, and that's okay. But she's actually a really good actress. She sells everything that WWE has given her. And some of the shit she's had to peddle has been pretty bad, but she sells it like she believes it 1,000%. She looks great. And I don't just mean, is she attractive? Yes. But I don't just mean, like, from an attractive standpoint. She looks good. She looks like a wrestler. She's not like this tiny, dainty little model. She's got enough, like, presence and size to her that she actually looks like she can hang. My only issue has always been her in-ring performance and the storyline surrounding her. That is it. Half of that is her fault. Half of that is her fault. I know I'm being nice, but fuck off. But the other half is WWE's fault, too. Trust me. James Ellsworth did you no favors. I'm not about to say Mella's money, but I just wanted to kind of, even that out. I have been pretty mean in the past, so I figured balance, let's be fair.
Right. Pass, mean, right.
I'm trying!
But I honestly thought it was a really good segment that evolved into Awesome Truth 2 in 2018, which was a pretty decent matchup.
Still not as good as that time they fucked up a Hell in a Cell match and ruined a pay-per-view and then went on to fucking main event Survivor Series against John Cena and The Rock. God damn, that was good! Like, you knew they were going to lose, but fuck it, that was good!
And to your point, if that could happen in, what was that, like 2000 and... It was 2011, that's right.
No,
it was that, because that was the year of Punk, basically, quote-unquote.
Yeah... Are you?
I am 100% sure. I will bet you $10 on it.
No. Just really, it's been that long though. 7 fucking years.
And we.
Good Lord, R-Truth has been with this company for fucking. Good God, he's been wrestling forever. He's been wrestling. Oh my God, now I feel old. Okay, I don't turn 30 till fucking April. I don't need a midlife crisis that young. That's like 15 years too early.
But gosh, I'm trying to get my train of thought. But,
sorry.
Getting to that point of, how did we devolve from an awesome moment like that to the bullshit that we got at Hell in the Cell this year, where it's like, oh, we're gonna do no contest.
Hardy versus Orton.
No. I'm talking about the finish.
I'm just saying that match. I still stand by this, despite all the shit people have chatted. I still stand by Hell in a Cell is still the best show they've done.
I do agree with that.
It fell up. Don't get me wrong. It goes off the rails at the end. By the end, it does. But everything before it goes off the rails is so fucking good, though.
Yep.
Like it's one of those things. Like it's kind of like, you know what? It's like the TV show Lost. I loved Lost when it was on. I love it now. The ending is fucking stupid. It is one of the worst TV endings ever. The show before it was. I love it so much that I don't even care. Hell in a Cell is the Lost of wrestling for 2018 for WWE.
I can agree with that. So basically, Miz gets the quote-unquote rights to his TV show back, so we'll probably not get a Truth TV segment in a while.
I'm okay with that.
Just shut up. Sheamus defeated Big E, which means that they're probably not going to win the tag
I wonder
team
if that
titles.
has anything to do with the Twitter thing that happened.
Oh, jeez.
Where like Big E called out like Sheamus for when Big E first came into WWE, like Sheamus was kind of a bully in the fucking locker room and shit, and Sheamus just kind of shut him the fuck down. Apparently, like is just. Basically the equivalent of, I don't know what you're fucking smoking, but that never fucking happened. What the hell? Boy said what? That's basically what kind of like, filter it through Sheamus, obviously. It's basically to the effect, so I'm just kind of wondering, like, did WWE see that and go, well, you got clapped back, son. Like, I'm sorry, but 1, 2, 3, like, yeah. Also, I still kind of like Sheamus. Fuck off. I dig the Celtic Warrior. Also bring back the Bar. Give me the Bar versus the Revival. Oh my god, make them both tag team champions of their respective shows, and then do champion versus champion. Make me that happy. Give me that birthday present. Tell me you wouldn't want that.
I do want that.
Oh my god, right? Oh my god. No, dude, Matt, no. I know it's considering everything I've talked up in terms of Revival, but imagine the Bar reversing the Shatter Machine.
Oh boy, I'm
just thinking of like, you know what would be really cool? They get, like, oh my god, the Revival, they're so good. They start getting desperate, and Sheamus starts busting out shit he hasn't used in years, like the fucking High Cross Crucifix Powerbomb.
Oh jeez,
I gotta stop hyping myself up for shit that's never gonna happen.
That's your own fault, bud.
It is. This is a curse.
But hey, one good thing that we can definitely take out of SmackDown is that Wisconsin finally gets a good mention, sort of, kind of. Okay, maybe not really.
What you talking about, Willis?
We are talking, of course, about the segment that featured Rusev, Lana, and Aiden English, to where Rusev
Milwaukee?
Yep. They mentioned Milwaukee. It's a proud day in Wisconsin. When they said that, it's like, what happened on the day in Milwaukee? And there's so many like theories about this, about what Lana did, because Aiden English is
the
just
WWE equivalent of what was that thing from the first Avengers movie? You and I remember Budapest very differently, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is Budapest?" Even after like 6 years, and it's kind of like, "What the fuck is Milwaukee?" WWE never explain what Milwaukee is. Turn this into the next Budapest. I want people like doing like the meme of the dude from Always Sunny, like with all the strings connecting all the different theories together. I want people to be doing that with what Milwaukee is. I want it to like come down to eventually like tying like the 2007 death of Vince McMahon to like Rusev and Lana. Do it.
That would be interesting. So
get Breezango on it somehow. Bring back the Fashion Police segments. Tell me, man, what is Milwaukee? Well, aside from a town with a bad sense of fashion.
Oh, jeez.
You want that segment now.
I want so many hate letters and maybe at least one death threat sent to you for tracking Milwaukee. You SOB.
Feed me your hate.
So basically what we're trying to get is that basically Rusev is trying to get answers from Aiden English. English says, you were basically...
Why, Aiden, why? Why, Aiden, why?
Basically,
no, but seriously, why did you break them up? I'm actually kind of like that legitimately hit me a bit. Like, I was really kind of sad, because I was really loving them together.
They were good, but it was kind of one of those things where it was bound to happen sooner or later. Unfortunately, it happened sooner. But yeah, Aiden English...
I gotta be happy about it.
Aiden English is basically saying you were nothing before, we created Rusev Day together. He had a nice little video package. Lana brought up the fact that, I brought him the United States Championship. You brought him nothing. Then, of course, he's basically at the point where he's like, shit, she's got me on that. So what can I do here? Oh, well, hey, I can take a shot at Lana and say, hey, whatever happened at that night in Milwaukee. And, of course, like you said, fan theories are going crazy. Some people are just saying, like, hey, maybe Lana had that affair with The Rock. Maybe Lana had an affair.
Whoa, affair with The Rock?
There was a segment back in, I think, a couple years ago where Lana and The Rock were backstage.
Was it that bit where, like, The Rock walked up to her and Rusev, and he and everyone got, like, really mad at The Rock, like, me too, because he was, like, basically just, like, fucking castrating the two of them?
Kind of, where he did... Well, actually, he mentioned... oh, God, what was it? I think, like... Oh, that's right, he did the, was it like the Russian wheelbarrow, and then he did mention something about Milwaukee or something like that. So people are thinking like, oh, well, maybe he had an affair with The Rock, and we get Rusev versus The Rock down the line. Honestly, I would love to see that. I don't think it's going to happen, but it'd be one of those things where it's
I know I'm usually the kind of guy who's like, man, I'm kind of sick of The Rock because I don't really like, the weird characters he's got going on now, and I'd rather just see him in movies at this point. But, like, Rusev versus literally anybody would be, like, I would literally watch him pull a Kota Ibushi and wrestle a fucking blow-up doll. Like, dude is a fucking genius. Like, Rusev is seriously the underappreciated gem of WWE, and, like, him versus The Rock, oh my god, like, I know, like, it's The Rock, of course, it's goddamn money, but, like, holy shit. Like, Rusev versus The Rock, I literally don't even care if Rusev loses at that point, because he wrestled the fucking Rock.
Fair enough.
Oh my god, The Rock reversing the Accolade and then just, like, flipping him around and hitting him with rock bottom. Oh my god, that just makes me wrestle happy and nostalgia happy.
So the last thing we'll talk about when it comes to SmackDown is the contract signing that they had with AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. So,
you mean the horror movie segment?
Oh boy, this...
Like, tell me that you... Like, that felt fucking creepy.
Okay, so, for those of you that don't know, obviously SmackDown also airs on the USA Network. But after SmackDown airs, because since the fact that they're still recording so many new episodes of Ms. and Mrs., please let that be a thing for, like...
Ever?
Like, I would love to just see them go all the way until they're at least to their retirement years.
At least until their daughter's 18, because I want it to go the full gamut of, oh my god, look at our baby, we're so fucking happy, look how cute she is. I want it to go to that, to them chasing after a toddler, to them chasing after the preteen, to them embarrassing the teenage daughter, because I'm just old enough to hate teenagers. I seriously, once you cross 25, that is when it becomes okay for you to be like, fuck teenagers.
But literally after SmackDown's over, they had that 10-episode event of The Purge, which a lot of people have been saying is probably better than the movies. I have not watched an episode yet.
Honestly, okay, just real quick, I don't like the first Purge movie. I legitimately have liked every Purge movie after that. I even liked the newest one. Legitimately. Honestly, though, I think the second one's the best. This is on level with the second movie.
Really?
It's good. This is like honestly, every movie after the first one has kind of made me a Purge fan. Because I remember I told you, I'm like, I fucking hate the Purge and all that before. But I'm like, I like these movies now because of, like, all the rest of them. Like, I'll even go back and watch the first one. And this... Like, I am glad this is a part of the Purge series. Like, this is really... You need to watch it, dude. Like, I know you didn't like the newest one, but, like, this is... It feels good again.
Okay. Well...
Honestly, if they give it a second season, fucking USA, if it keeps up like this for all 10 episodes, fucking please give me that second season. I'm on board.
Fair enough. So, basically what Max was referring to before we got really off topic, and I feel like that's been just going like crazy with that throughout this episode, and also I do apologize.
I take all the blame for that. It's mostly my fault.
Well, you also have been dropping F-bombs like crazy today, because...
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
There it is. So basically what we're referring to is that AJ Styles is in the ring with Paige. They're doing a nice little contract signing, but we get a little video from Samoa Joe.
Samoan Joseph,
where literally he could be anywhere else. But where was he exactly? Well, this little place called Gainesville, Georgia. Then he pans over to a mailbox that ironically says Styles. And no, I'm not talking about Ryan Styles. I'm pretty sure it's AJ Styles. Although I will say that if that is like, the place of Ryan Styles, that'd be like the biggest troll that Samoa Joe could ever do. And I'd be like, Samoa Joe, I hate you, but I love you at the same time right now. This is absolutely hilarious.
Also, I legitimately love... Like, I don't know if that was actually AJ Styles' house or whatever. Like, if that's actually his home. I love the fact that they actually put Styles on the fucking mailbox. Like, oh my god. Like, I love how every once in a while they'll have, like, a moment like, this is Phil Brooks talking to Paul Levesque, where they drop the real names. But AJ Styles, according to WWE, his real name is AJ Styles. Oh my god. Oh my god, I want them to have like a bit where AJ goes to Samoa Joe's house and the thing on the box just says Joe, implying that Joe is his last name and Samoa is his first name. We're looking for Mr. Joe. Actually, just call me Samoa. Like, I'm just,
Fair enough.
Like, I'm not even trying to be an asshole. Like, I legitimately thought that was actually a really nice touch.
But the segment basically goes that Samoa Joe is at AJ Styles' place, and he's basically going to visit, his wife and his daughter. And Samoa Joe makes it even creepier by saying, "Hey, I got a nice little gift." And there's a line in there that's so good that so many people are kind of complaining about it, but they're also just like, well, I guess it kind of makes sense. The line where basically AJ Styles is like, give me a phone, I'm going to call right now. And Samoa Joe conveniently says, like, "Oh, what's that? What's that? Oh, that's right. You have your phone on you, don't you? Yeah, it must be a real shame about that." It's like, it's not like he's in a wrestling match. It's not like he's going to have his phone up his ass or something like that. It's one of those things like, okay, that's actually kind of funny. So literally, it goes into a deal where Samoa Joe, he goes up to the porch, he sits there, talks about taking the title away from AJ Styles at Super Showdown, and then he does the creepiest thing where he is just saying, like, he just rings the doorbell, and he just says, "Daddy's home." Cuts to black. That's the end of the show. They could have done a deal where AJ Styles is in shock, where obviously during the segment, AJ Styles is just begging, he's pleading, he's like, "Do not go there. Do not go to my house. Do not do that kind of stuff." It's one of those things where it makes it real, but that moment
I liked how he sounded desperate. Like, he's like, it would have, like, if they made him pissed off, like, "I'll murder you if you do this." Like, that, okay. Like, that's pretty typical to wrestling. Him sounding, like, super desperate, like, they've been playing up the whole, he's a family man. He loves his kids, he loves his wife, he's a family dude. That feels so much more like a husband and father. To me, at least. Like, obviously, I'm not married, I don't have children, but having, I've been around plenty of parents, plenty of people who are married. There's, like, the reason why a lot of them don't get angry when, like, their kids or their spouse are in trouble or hurt is because it's that immediate sense of, this person's more important to me than anything. Oh my god, are they okay? Please let them be okay. It's that, like, worry, it's that desperation, and, like, that made it feel really real. Him calling Samoa Joe, like, dude, every other sentence was a little, like, really, man? Okay, that's a little fucking weird, but, like, aside from that, like, all of it was great. The only thing that would have made that whole segment better is if when Joe sat down, like, on the porch steps, is if he'd been like, I'm sure you're, you're all blowing your gasket, or maybe you're begging me right now not to do this. Yeah. Sorry, man, I can't hear you. That's the thing about pre-recorded videos. And then he just stares at the camera, and you're like, oh shit, this has already happened. It's like that. It's like shit from Watchmen, where it's like, I already did my master plan 30 minutes ago. It's like, oh dang, oh fuck, and then it eventually cuts to black like that. That would just be. It's the only way they could have made it better. Like, SmackDown Live has been great all year. This has got to be like the one of, if not the best segments they've done all year, which is like I'm trying to play that as high praise.
Okay. I agree with that. Alright, so that's going to be it for WWE segments, at least for the time being, until we do the Super Showdown predictions. Let's talk about one of our favorite shows, though, for the week, and that being Lucha Underground, in which I want to say, first of all, this is one of the first few times where I actually had a little bit of an issue.
Really?
With Lucha Underground, but only, it's a small one. So, okay, maybe it's not that small. It's kind of one of those things I addressed on Twitter, and one of the people that I addressed it about liked it. They talked a little bit about the highlights from last week's episode, where they talked about the whole deal where Marty the Moth won the Gift of the Gods and how he won the Lucha Underground title, but they don't mention the involvement of Chelsea Green in the main event, which
okay,
that kind of bummed me out of it. It's like she was kind of the difference maker, because before that, Pentagon seemed like he was going to have a bit of an advantage. Then here comes Chelsea Green. She hits the Canadian Destroyer, endorsed by P.D. Williams, by the way, which is awesome. And then, of course, Marty hits the package pile driver to become Lucha Underground champion. Still one of the biggest shocks of the entire, season. So during this night, they announced a 4-way number one contenders matchup to determine who will face Marty the Moth for the title at Ultima Lucha Cuatro. So, they had El Dragon Azteca, Pentagon Jr., Mil Muertes, and King Cuerno battling. Before we get to that, though, we had a couple other matches that happened beforehand.
We did.
First match about the card.
You know what I'm excited to talk about, man. You know it. You know. We'll get to it. You know, though.
First matchup that took place was actually an impromptu matchup in which Jack Evans was just talking about how, he's done.
Jack of all trades.
Yep, he's just done. He's just ready to leave the temple. And Antonio's just like, well, I mean, hey, if you want to leave, there's the door.
You really don't want to be here. I can't do Antonio
right.
Cueto for shit.
But he says, I will let you go if you win your match. You win, you leave the temple. You lose, you're stuck here forever. And as soon as I hear him say that, I'm like, oh God, here we go. Here we go. We know what's happening. And he says it's like, because Jack Evans, you have been chosen to be the next sacrifice to the god. Here comes Matanza. Wrecks his shit, destroys. Matanza wins, sacrifices Jack Evans,
ends his day.
Oh my gosh! So that just
that was brutal. Like Jack Evans, homie. How did I'm sorry, man. That final power slam, I'm pretty sure his dad felt that shit.
Yep, I could agree with that. Next matchup we had on here was a trios tag team title matchup in which we saw the team of Ivelisse, Exolicious, and Joey Ryan taking on the Reptile Tribe. Oh God, help me. I said it throughout Twitter. Fuck! This is hard for me because it's like, I don't know who I want to win because...
I'm sorry, one side had Exolicious. How are we not just 1,000% on that side? Oh, they're the Reptile Tribe. And, Agent Cooper has commented that he really likes the Reptile Tribe and they're one of the best parts. I don't care. Exo-fucking-licious. Exolicious is the fucking Velveteen Dream of Lucha Underground. And, automatically, boom, I'm like, well, I know who I want to win.
Well, it's kind of also one of those things where it's like, but it's also Cobra Moon versus Ivelisse. Ivelisse, she's my girl, but at the same time, I feel like I pledged my allegiance to Cobra Moon.
Dude, Ivelisse, though.
Ivelisse. I know, she's my girl. Ivelisse.
She broke a leg for this show, man.
Ivelisse, I want you to be my wife in the worst possible way. I will literally go to the temple.
Also the best possible way.
I will fight Matanza just to prove my love for you. God damn.
She's going to love you in a wheelchair after that.
That is fair. But honestly, it was a pretty good matchup.
I loved it. I thought this was great. I mean, I know I have my bias because, I don't know, something about Exolicious just really ticks a lot of boxes for me. I really love him. You know me and characters like that. I love that shit.
Very talented and very athletic. Absolutely amazing.
Seriously, I want, at least Gift to the Gods on Exo at some point. But, this match really clicked for me. This was, goddamn, this was, fuck it, I'll throw it down. I thought it was match of the night.
I think the main event.
I'm kind of figuring, and I'll admit, that is super biased. I love everyone in this match. It was pretty much fan service for me. So I will admit, total bias. It was me getting stuff that I wanted. On an objective standpoint, main event was easily match of the night, which it honestly should be. It's the main event.
Right.
But just from a personal enjoyment standpoint, this was match of the night for me. Especially like you said, Ivelisse and Cobra Moon, just everything Exo. Exo was tearing it the fuck up in that. Yep. But I said, that is all bias. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to hide that from anybody. But, I don't care. My bias let me enjoy the shit out of this match. It was the best fucking thing I saw all Wednesday. Fuck off.
In the end, the Reptile Tribe would retain the tag team titles, but we would get a very special deal after the matchup in which Paul London came out and introduced the rest of the Bite Tribe. First one, of course, being El Bunny, this little luchador. And literally, it's just
El Bunny.
It's like El Bunny, really?
El Bunny, Al Bundy.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't unhear it now.
That was good.
Hey, you're the one who played that fucking Married with Children compilation after the ACW show.
That is fair. And then he introduced the headmaster, which a lot of people know is Killer Cross. And I actually did not make the connection until I heard the fans chanting, Cross, Cross, Cross. I'm like, Killer Cross is in Lucha Underground? What? And they beat down on Evilise, Exolicious, and Joey Ryan. Literally one of the more brutal post-match assaults I've seen in quite a while at Lucha Underground.
Which is saying something. Like, I agree with you. That is saying something. I mean, like, because, like, excuse me, as much as both Cuetos have talked it up, like, oh, I love violence, and, like, oh, this is, fucking, like, stuff like the Believers Backlash match and all that, or, like, any of the casket matches and whatnot, but, like, in terms of, like, the post-matches, like, damn, like, trying to, like, I know it's not saying much on Lucha Underground saying someone's trying to kill somebody, but somebody was trying to fucking kill somebody.
Definitely. The next matchup that happened on here was a nunchucks match, in which we featured Aerostar and Drago taking on Jake Strong, formerly known as Jack Swagger. My opinions about Jake Strong are...
Strong.
Yeah, they're still the same as what...
Jake Strong.
They're still the
He's
same.
Very
they're still the same opinions of when he was Jack Swagger. I'm not invested in him. I'm not interested in him.
He's not interesting.
He's a bland guy. I mean, I like the fact that he doesn't talk at all.
But when he does, it's just basically just shouting.
Yeah.
Which, it's like, it's kind of hard to criticize the acting of shouting.
Yeah.
Like,
but
I mean,
he's
a competent wrestler, but, like, that's the thing. Everything about him is competent. Like, he is functional. He's like, if you want to make an analogy to food, he's the kind of dinner you eat when you don't care about taste, you just want to get full. Like, he's there, he does his job, he's not bad at it, I'm not gonna knock him for that, but he's just, I don't have anything to care about, he's so goddamn boring.
Yeah, I just do not care. And also Jake Strong won, so he's still undefeated. I could give two bits of a rat's ass.
Exactly. I don't give a shit.
All right, let's talk about the main event finally.
Oh, here we go, folks. Here's where it tears up.
The four-way matchup, like a four-way, let's just kill each other kind of a matchup. Absolutely good.
Absolutely flawless.
Now, it starts off, of course, as a four-way. We get to see, Dragon Stetka take a little bit of advantage throughout the matchup, even hitting his signature pizza DDT.
I love that name, by the way. And by the way, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, the pizza DDT is that thing where he's up on their shoulders with their head under his arm, and then he just kind of, like, fucking flips, like, 360 degrees and lands on the other side of them, on their other shoulder, and then DDTs him, and you kind of just look at him and go, that is some video game physics that shouldn't work, fuck you, but it's so fucking smooth every time!
But unfortunately, El Dragon Azteca would be taken out of the equation a bit, because Phoenix made an appearance in this matchup to try to, I guess, communicate with Melissa Santos. It's kind of questionable. It's kind of one of those things where she's literally, like, cornered. She's basically trying to say, like, this is not you, what's going on? And then El Dragon Azteca sees that and is like, you cost me my title. Dives out to the Phoenix, just nice little brawl there. I'm like, yes, I'm totally okay with this. I am totally fine with this. We're probably going to get Phoenix versus El Dragon Azteca at Ultima Lucha. I am perfectly okay with this, because I am hoping that El Dragon Azteca gets a big victory. He needs it. Yeah. So, matchup after that just turns into a four-way. Still pretty good, but it does end with Pentagon pinning Mil Muertes. Pentagon will be taking on Mr. Mari the Moth at Ultima Lucha for the Lucha Underground Championship. He will actually be confronting Mari the Moth on this week's episode of Lucha Underground, so that'll be kind of interesting to see. I thought there was another thing that was going on next week, but that's all I could think of right now. So, at the moment that we're, of course, recording this, it is, of course, on Sunday. We already had the Packer game and blah, 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 blah. This is the build-up episode to Super Showdown, and Raw and SmackDown definitely do need to step up their game. But before we get into Super Showdown predictions, we have one more thing that we have to talk about, and that is the beautiful, beautiful show that we went to in Oshkosh.
Oh, are we finally talking about ACW?
We are talking about ACW Wisconsin.
It's about time. You started this with Wisconsin love. We got to end it with that.
It was ACW 27, I believe, was the show.
Yep.
And it's the final show before they get into the 5-year anniversary show, which will be taking place on November 30th. Yep, we'll definitely get into that one. We kicked off with Logan Lynch defending his newly won ACW championship against Seth Gambino. It's a pretty good matchup. It definitely does show a lot of the fan favorite style of Seth Gambino, but it also shows the brutal style that Logan Lynch had. Logan would eventually retain the title with a brutal knee. That was just
fucking so okay with Logan Lynch retaining, though.
Well, you and
can we be real about that? Like, Logan Lynch's money.
You and Carissa just have this like unhealthy obsession with Logan.
It's not unhealthy, dude.
He's doing the Logan Lynch symbol there.
Fuck you, man, Logan Lynch. I'm sorry.
So Logan, if you're listening to this, you definitely have a lot of fans, even though you probably could give 2 bits of a rat's ass about him.
We love you anyway, man. We know you don't care, but we love you. No.
But yeah, before the match even started, he came out with a really good promo where he basically talks about being the one who retires Sadist. He basically ended the title run of Sadist. And I will state this, that I know that I'm breaking so many levels of kayfabe. His last match was actually at WPW for the Stadium Mania matchup against Colin Brooks, which I think was the best thing. And I'll get into that.
Young Money!
I'll get into that when we talk about Sadist a little bit later. Logan Lynch would go on to just beat down on Seth Gambino, but Justin Dredd would make the save and make a challenge for the title to Logan Lynch. It may happen at the 5-year anniversary show.
Please.
I would honestly love to see that. I will say this, that Justin Dredd has definitely been growing on me for a lot of times that I've seen him, and I would love to see this matchup between the two of them. I think they could put on a really excellent matchup, and it would be for the ACW Championship. Please, by all means, just do it. We get into another segment with Colin Young Money Brooks. Just got... I've said it before and I say it again. This guy is like my favorite wrestler in all of Wisconsin.
When he came out and like made them do his entrance over because they had to make a correction.
Jeez.
Young Money!
It's just, man, just love it. Yeah, Colin Brooks, he talks about a big announcement that he has, and we get one of the biggest trolls of the night where basically the guy just says, "You're retiring?" I'm like, fuck you. It was one of those moments where
I missed that, actually. I missed that.
You missed a lot during the day because you were busy getting beers.
I got 2 beers. I had 2 beers the whole night.
Fair enough.
I ain't stone cold over here.
Fair enough.
I did not go overboard.
So basically, Colin's big announcement was that he's going to be in the 5-year anniversary Battle Royal, which guarantees the winner a trophy that will guarantee them a title shot of their choosing. So it's kind of like a gift of the gods deal.
Yeah.
So it's very beautiful, very beautiful. And I'm hoping that Colin Brooks so far is going to be my favorite to win it. But that's just me. We had the Reality Check Challenge, in which Brock Hall put his $500 check on the line. He won it at the, I want to say it was not Stadium Mania, at the at Water City WrestleCon, because they usually have like this, I think like a $2,000 Battle Royal where a winner receives a check for $2,000. So he's been putting his money where his mouth is, put his check on the line. And I apologize if I'm pissing this guy off, but I call him the Constable Ripoff Mitchell.
Oh my god, you were on about that.
He's wearing a freaking vest, dude.
It doesn't make him a...
And he would look better with a haircut, I'm sorry.
Oh my god. By the way, during the intermission, like I just was kind of taking a little stroll around the ring at one point, and like I see him, he's sitting there, he's got like his thing of merch out there. And, like, I'm walking by and I see him and he, like, he does something kind of heely, like, with one of the kids. And I laugh. And he sees me laugh. And he throws the lid on his merch thing and, like, you don't get anything either. And I'm just like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's so fucking great. Made my night. I swear. Oh, my God. That was gold.
But this guy, Mitchell, he basically talks about how he's going to take the money and send all of the dogs from the Humane Society to Hurricane Florence. And literally, I'm like, wow, that still feels really fresh. And I understand that I made a comment about that in an episode with Victory Bell. It still feels like one of those things where it's like, man, that's even brutal for even me to like bring up. But guys, one of the biggest shocks of the night was Mitchell winning, and throughout this matchup we had save the puppies and save the dogs and stuff, chants like that. Fortunately, Brock, you let us down. You let Mitchell win. Now those
poor dogs, poor doggos.
Mitchell, just get a different vest. Go back to working TGI Fridays.
Call me salty all the time.
Fair enough. Then we had a nice little video package of T-Dub3.
Oh my god! My boy! T-Dub3.
He literally goes into explaining about how the fans are kind of like slowly turned on him. How, he had 3 shots against Sadis for the ACW Championship, and he talks about how the cheers are getting like less for him, and more less, and more less, and more less, until finally it's, he talks about his opponent, Aaron Local Dad. I can't remember his last name, so I apologize in advance for people.
Local Dad, just Local Dad.
Local Dad, fair enough. It was literally one of those promos where it feels so much like it made sense for him to turn heel.
Felt real.
It did feel real, and that's one of the things that we love about T-Dub3. He's absolutely one of the most real.
Also, he's been on Raw.
That is true.
He was security guard.
That was Raw. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's right. Agent Cooper remembers.
Well, so I think Joey Avalon was also on
was
that
he?
Raw. I think so.
Same kind of deal. Or?
I think so. I think he was also security guard
snap.
too. So during this, obviously, he would basically go into a matchup, and he literally, I've branded him as Daddy Killer because he just, throughout the matchup, was just looking over towards, I guess, Local Dad's kids or something like that. I'm guessing is what the case was.
Probably.
And he was just saying like, oh, you like that? You see that? You see your dad's going to get beaten up now. Oh, yeah, I'm going to beat the piss out of your dad, basically, is what he's saying. Really good matchup between the two of them, and it ends with T-Dub3 applying a Dragon Sleeper, which I would have not expected, honestly. I didn't expect him to break a submission maneuver out, but it was a pretty damn good Dragon Sleeper.
That looked great.
It was really good. T-Dub3 picks up the victory. It was a good matchup. Then we get on to the, oh man, this was a good match, mainly because it featured one of Agent Cooper's new favorite tag teams.
Tag team move!
Tag team move teamed up.
You got a friend in me!
With Wild and Randy to take on Famous Trash and Art of War. Literally, this was a really, really, really good matchup. I would definitely argue that this was probably
Swoggleplex City.
I would argue that this was match of the night for me. This was really good.
Definitely.
This was really good.
Crowd was fucking eating it up, more than anything else. Goddamn.
I mean, all the crazy stuff that they were doing. We got, let's go Randy chants, Swoggle chants.
Oh god, Randy was over as crap that time. Damn.
There came a moment where everybody was trying to apply a sleeper hold to each other. And I honestly thought they were going to go into like a No Way Jose conga line when Swoggle had like Joey put his arms around him. But then it turns out to be a Swoggle stunner, which everybody just gets.
God, that was fucking great.
That was great. And then, like you said, we get the Swoggleplex.
Swoggle kicks for days!
And just a lot of really good stuff. In the end, though, we would see the team of Art of War and Famous Trash pick up the victory. But after the matchup is over, we see Swoggle get on the mic, and he is just saying, you know what? Tired of losing. It's time that we get those tag team title belts around our waist. So they make a challenge for a 3-way matchup, actually.
It was.
Where it's them versus Art of War and Famous Trash for the 5-year anniversary show. That just sounds beautiful. And again, hopefully we can make it because that just looks really awesome. November 30th, be sure to go see it. Oshkosh Masonic Center. It's going to be a really good night. We would go into Mr. Josh Weimer, he would actually make some announcements about future shows as well as who is going to be involved in the 5-year anniversary show. First, he would announce that on April 27th would be the next Water City WrestleCon, which I am definitely going to see that because Water City WrestleCon is one of the best things of all time. I swear to God, it's amazing. Then he would announce who the special guest would be, first starting off with one of the fan favorites of WWE, and I know one of Max Beauty's favorite wrestlers, Agent Cooper. I apologize. I keep breaking kayfabe all the time. Ow. Eugene!
God. Fucking.
I was just kind of like, whoa, this will be interesting to see who it is. And then as soon as they played Eugene's music, I'm like, yes! I love it!
Oh my god, fucking Eugene, man. I still am questioning, is he going to be Eugene or is he just going to be Nick Dinsmore? That's what I'm thinking. It's probably going to be Eugene. Let's be real. It's probably going to be Eugene. It'd be kind of cool if he came out as just himself. That, I won't lie. I'd be pretty down with that.
Yeah, fair enough. Then they would announce that there would be a former tag team champion of WWE that would be a part of this wonderful night. I think that they are advertised to be taking on Wild and Randy, if I'm not mistaken. They may have been added into the tag team title matchup. I can't remember exactly. But we would get Kenny, Johnny, Mitch, not Nikki, Mikey. They advertised for the Spirit Squad, and they even make a joke saying, unfortunately, Nikki will not be there. It's like, oh.
Well, what is Nikki doing right now?
I don't know, probably in some random...
It's probably in some fucking indie house show. Fucking...
Being a tag team champion with, like, a Scottish, Terminator.
Probably some hairy asshole.
Oh,
they're probably not doing anything all that good right now. I mean, I could totally see it. Like, they're probably, like, fucking, I don't know.
And then the final... member that they announced, the special guest for that, is the hardcore legend, the hardcore icon, literally the heart and soul,
the innovator of violence,
Tommy Dreamer. They announced that, and honestly, you guys,
the king of the house of hardcore.
Tommy Dreamer has been a part of ACW on so many different levels. I believe that he was actually at this past year's Water City WrestleCon. He actually showed up as a surprise guest entrant for the Battle Royal at last year's anniversary show. So now that they've announced it, it's like, okay, awesome. So you never know what you can expect with Tommy Dreamer. It's literally going to be one of those things like, I'm loving this. This is going to be amazing. After intermission, we get into the next couple of matchups. One matchup we definitely can talk about. The other one, I wish we could talk more about, but the problem is I don't know who the hell those people are. So I feel...
I don't know who the fuck anyone is.
I didn't know who these guys were.
It's still funny.
I don't have that much in the way of research. I apologize to those guys. You put on a pretty good matchup, but I wish I just knew your names. But the first matchup was Chase McCoy from Delirium taking on Big Cat Chris Bogan, I believe his name. I hope I said that name right. I apologize. Big Cat, please don't kill me. Pretty decent matchup between the two of them. It ended with a he basically takes the scepter of one of his guys and thrusts it into Big Cat. Then he locks in like this kind of like choke submission. I don't know if it was even like...
I think it was a choke.
It was like either a choke or like a mandible claw or something like that.
Something along those lines.
And it ended with a knockout decision, quote unquote. Also, Delirium is literally, you guys...
That look is so good.
If you remember the movie Clockwork Orange...
They're like a black-clad version of that, because like Clockwork, they were all like in white and shit, and like here it's like all jet black version of that. It's great.
Yep.
Like the fucking right down to the canes and shit. It's awesome.
Yep. The next matchup ended a DQ finish. I think this was also one where you were away, so you were asking like, what's going on with this? They kept on beating down Big Cat and his partner, and then Josh Weimer would get involved, and he would say, hey, that's enough. Then Delirium just beats him down. Chase McCoy actually hits him with the Impaler DDT. Definitely can expect some repercussions coming their way at the 5-year show. What it'll be, I don't know. But it also would explain why there's so many security guys there. Because I was thinking, like, wow, there's more security guys here than normal. This is kind of interesting. And now I understand why. It's like, oh, for this segment. Got it. Next matchup we had was I call it a tag team graduates matchup, because the because they definitely hyped up the fact that, hey, we got a school, we do a lot of training, so this is basically 4 graduates from it. It was Trent Daniels and Rocky Roy taking on Jarrell Evans and Levi, which, let's just state the fact that what other wrestling promotion are you going to see somebody dressed up as an Amish guy taking on somebody dressed in a kilt? ACW...
Raise the barn!
This was legit.
I called in my head, I was calling every move he hit the barn raiser. I'm not even going to front.
This was...
He'd hit a pile driver, I would have been like pitchfork pile driver.
Oh my gosh. This was still like a really... This was actually a really good matchup. I mean, for them, they got the crowd really behind them. It was really good, especially when Levi got involved. Oh my gosh, people were just totally behind him. Jeez Louise.
1,000%.
It was a really good matchup. Jarrell and Levi would pick up the victory after, I think Levi hit like a Samoan driver, or if you want to call it the barnyard driver, I don't care.
Pitchfork pile driver.
Pitchfork pile driver. Why not at this point? It was a really good matchup. And I've seen like one other graduate matchup, and it was okay, but it was still kind of like, man,
still rough.
It was still rough around the edges. This matchup, a lot of people really got behind. It was great to see. So we get into the main event matchup, not the main event segment, the main event matchup, which was the ACW Water City Championship put on the line. Raging Nathan Gus taking on
Pornstache
Peter Schwanz. Really good matchup between the two of them. And honestly, you guys, I will say this. This is one of the first few times I've ever seen Raging Nathan Gus just completely pale-faced. It was an awesome look for him.
The Raging Dead.
And it was weird because there was something... Because, Agent Cooper, you made a comment before the matchup even started. It was like, fear the stash or something about the stash or something like that. And you got Gus's attention where he just looks over. He's like, what? I'm literally like, he said it. And then you point at me.
I was like, nope, it wasn't me.
We're doing like a...
I know what you're talking about.
It's like a Three Stooges deal where we're just like...
fucking hilarious.
Amazing.
I didn't think he'd even hear me.
Well, you were proven wrong.
I was.
And
it sucked a little bit. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna die.
But yeah,
it's not how I wanted to go down.
But it was still, like we said, a really good matchup between the two of them. We saw a bit of like biting from Raging Nathan Gus because, of course, he almost feels like a member of The Walking Dead because why the hell not? A really good show of athleticism by Peter Schwanz. I mean, honestly, I've seen this guy wrestle like more than one occasion. Absolutely.
More than one occasion. Can't specify, but more than once.
It's a few years, basically.
Oh, okay.
And he's really good in the ring. Still not quite, Colin Brooks level, but at the same time, still really good. And he definitely was one of those guys that was always trying to get the crowd on the feet. Definitely, I would say fan favorite of the night other than Levi. He was just really good. The finish was kind of interesting, to say the least. Because we had a deal where referee got knocked down. Gus had the belt, knocks out Schwanz with it, and we got a close 2 count. Also, shout-outs to all the fans that joined me whenever they did the 2, because we got a 2 sweet going. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome. But the ending was kind of interesting because we see Peter Schwanz hit a DDT on Gus on the title belt. It was kind of like a weirder version of like the Brock Lesnar Eddie Guerrero deal, to where if you remember, like Brock was going to go for the F5 and then Eddie hit the DT, but then he followed up with a frog splash. It was one of those things. It's like you take that, but you take away the frog splash deal. That's basically what it was. So Pornstache retains, and it was still a pretty good matchup. Like I said, still match of the night was probably that 8-man tag. We might as well just call it an 8-man war for all we care.
Might as well. It pretty much was. It was a fucking knockdown, drag out, kill each other fight.
So we get into the main event segment, which was very emotional. I tried so hard to, not cry. I held back as much tears as I could. Sadist comes out. Actually, no, he comes out twice, actually. The announcer calls him out, and basically Sadist says, this is really cool, but hopefully if you can bear with me, I would love nothing more than to, just come out again. And he even says, like, give me 18 seconds just to let it go. And it's funny.
So great.
People are trying so hard to, like, start the count, but Sadist's like, not now. It's just amazing. So then after, Satan goes back to the curtain, he does the crowd does the count. We get his music. Everybody's just cheering like crazy, and he cuts a really good good promo where he basically talks about all the history that he has with ACW. He talks about things that he tried to leave wrestling before, but it just felt like he was not ready to leave. There was just something inside of him that was just saying,
I need to stay.
I need to stay. And the coolest thing about this was that he actually invited all the people in the in the back outside, because he said, this is not just about me, this is about you guys as well. And he talks about certain memories. One in particular was he was a part of Colin Brooks' debut, which I thought was absolutely amazing. And this is why I wanted to tie into from earlier, where he basically says, how basically, he was there for Colin's, first match, and it only made sense that Colin would be there for his last match. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing that he tied in. And honestly, it did go into one of the best things that I could ever hear from a wrestler. It's really cool because he said that he noticed that there was one guy there who was not there, and that being Logan Lynch. It was very much implied. He didn't say the name, but he basically looks up at one of the floor section, and basically he makes this line that is so brilliant that I'm going to be having that in the back of my mind anytime that we crown a new champion. He makes this comment where he says that if you don't thrive to be a better champion than what I was, then you don't deserve the title at all. That just beautiful. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. He would then go on to mention how he loves the fans. He loves that everybody came out to be a part of this. It was a great moment. All the guys went in the ring. They all hugged him. They all just we gave him thank you say his chants. There's a point where he actually says I love you guys, and he regretted that immediately. I even tried to do a we all love you chant, and you tried to shut me up. Like
I did.
But there were like 3 people that were trying to get in on that too, so that was beautiful. But then we get into probably one of the best segments of the entire deal where of the entire night. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Where basically we're asking for like one more spear. We could have had a big selection of there, and somehow we ended up doing it with Swoggle. And okay, you say the quote better than I do. What is it that Sadist said exactly?
For when he was going to spare him?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure how you think the physics on this is going to work out, but...
And literally Swoggle just provokes him. He just gives him a double bird, which sets off Sadist just a little bit, and he's just kind of still hesitant. He's like, I don't really want to do this. I really don't want to do this. Then we see Swoggle spit in his face, and it's like, oh, Swoggle's going to die. Swoggle's going to die. And we get the final spear of Sadist to Swoggle. Beautifully done. Sadist with the perfect send-off. Sadist, absolutely grateful that we got the chance to see you on your last night. It was
Thank you, man.
Legitimately one of the most emotional that I've ever had, especially at an indie show. That was really good. It's a moment that will definitely stand out the test of time. And just thank you so much. I'm wearing my Thank You Sadist shirt because he's that amazing. Definitely, hopefully get a chance to maybe talk to him on the podcast in the future, because I know
that'd be fucking great.
That we've done it in the past before, but I think it'd be really cool to do it again. So Sadist, if you're listening to this, the offer's out to you, man. If you ever want to come back on the podcast, do an interview, talk about whatever, we can talk about boys and everything like that, whatever. Just feel free to come on. If you want to spear me, I'm willing to take it. I'm willing to literally...
And I am willing to record it.
I'm really willing to just lose a couple ribs just to do that. That's just absolutely amazing. Yeah, ACW was a really good show. As far as, show of the year, I don't know if I would go that far, but it was definitely one of the standout shows.
Oh, God, definitely. Easily one of the standouts.
All right, Max. So we go from something good to probably something that's going to be maybe regretful, but we'll see. Let's talk about Super Showdown, and let's go through some predictions here. 10 matches are advertised for this. We're going to go through as many of these as we can. I know that we kind of went a little bit overboard with some of these deals, but you know something? It's my show, and I say, fuck it, yeah, at this point. So let's just go right into the first matchup here that's advertised. So we got a singles match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky Lynch defending against Charlotte Flair. Start with you, Agent Cooper. Who have you got and why?
Oh, shit. What? All right. What is this one?
Charlotte versus Becky.
Becky, because it's the right friggin' decision. Like, not even, like, from necessarily, like, a heel-face alignment standpoint, but just strictly from a, dear God, just give the fans what they want standpoint. I also personally think that regardless of how it goes down, whether she cheats, I don't think she should, or it's some other kind of shenanigans, or maybe they'll have her go clean, I'm whole hog taking Becky.
Fair enough. I am going to be going with a bit of a... This is going to be probably one that's going to bite me in the ass, especially considering these predictions are also going to go into my prediction battle with Will from Kings of the Ring podcast.
Oh, boy. You doing this to yourself at this point.
I am picking Charlotte to win the belt back.
I hate you.
Here's my reason.
I hate you. There is no reason, and I hate you.
Storyline-wise, it would make sense because it accomplishes two things. One, Charlotte breaks the Trish Stratus record of most title victories in the women's division. Two, this can also be where we see the double turn, where Becky Lynch is still doing what she does, but she's now more of a babyface, and Charlotte becomes the heel. So Charlotte wins by a shenanigans, but it's not going to be a long title run. This is one of those occasions where I'm actually going to accept if they do a hot potato with the championships, because you can have the big moment again where it's the best matchup between the two of them at WWE Evolution, especially if that leaked card is indeed true. That would be the best way to do it. And honestly, you could still have that moment. Have Becky Lynch win her third title run at WWE Evolution. She wins it cleanly. She maybe wins it with a little bit of shenanigans. Whatever. She wins the title back. She gets her third win. And maybe she holds it all the way till, I would say, Elimination Chamber maybe.
Ooh, that's a couple months there.
I'd just give her the title belt for that long. Maybe WrestleMania the latest. Because
you make me sad. You make me so...
Because here's what they could...
You make me sad sometimes.
Because literally what they could do is that they could either have Ronda or Charlotte win the Women's Royal Rumble.
I'll kill you.
That way they could literally
I'll kill you for that first one. Ronda, I will come across this desk.
I'd like to see
the salt. I will bury you in salt, motherfucker.
All right, so the next matchup we have on here is Asuka and Naomi taking on the Iconics, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. This is a tough one for me because it's in Australia. It has the Iconics. They're the hometown girls. But I think for the sake of arguments, I'm going to go with Asuka and Naomi, mainly because Asuka really does need to build up more momentum, especially if we're going to get Asuka versus Becky Lynch down the line. Honestly, I would still save it for WrestleMania. I think that would be a better choice. But if they're going to do it, Asuka needs to get some momentum back. So, who are you picking?
Oh, you know I'm picking Asuka.
Fair.
She's my girl.
I
can't. I'm not going to even front on that. Like it's Asuka. Come on now.
Fair enough.
You even ask me. I'm insulted and offended.
Well, I never know. So, next matchup we have is for the WWE SmackDown Live Tag Team titles. We have the New Day taking on The Bar. Are we both in agreement?
On
who's winning this one?
Well, it depends. Who do you want?
I'm going with the New Day. I don't think that they're going to put it on The Bar just yet. I think that they are going to at least have New Day hold on to it just for a bit longer. Maybe until January, I would say. Because hopefully then they can maybe build up maybe The Bar just a little bit. Because The Bar just recently came back. So they do need to start wrecking.
I really want The Bar.
Are you going with The Bar?
No, because I actually agree with you. I think they'll probably keep it on the New Day. And I think that is probably a good idea. But at the same time, I know what I want. But I'm going to go with what I think is going to happen.
All right.
So we are, Yeah,
we're on unfortunate common grounds. Next matchup we have on here is for the Cruiserweight Championship. We have Cedric Alexander taking on Buddy Murphy. Who have you got and why?
Oh man, I need to think on this one. Go into yours, man, because I need a moment on this one.
I'm going to go with another wild card pick. I'm picking Buddy Murphy for this one. Right now, Cedric Alexander is at a point where he has done the Cruiserweight title good. right now, I think it needs to go to a really good heel. And the best heel on 205 right now is indeed Buddy Murphy. And honestly, Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali for the Cruiserweight title definitely sounds like a really good matchup that I would want to see. Because unless they turn Cedric heel, Mustafa Ali needs to be like the next big babyface that they really build up.
I completely agree with you on Mustafa. And I agree with you, like what you're saying, like, like with Murphy picking it up, I that'd be great, but I don't see it. I think they're gonna go safe. I think they're gonna play it safe and keep the belt on Cedric.
Fair enough. All right, next matchup is for the WWE Championship. No countout, no disqualification. There must be a winner. AJ Styles taking on Samoa Joe. Do you at least have a decision on this one, or is this another one where you need a minute?
Samoa fucking Joe. Except no substitutes. 100% beef. Home invader Samoa Joe murders him. That is what I want. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm going with what my heart is saying. My heart wants Samoa Joe to kill a man. My heart is a bad person. I can't help it. My heart wants bad things.
I'm going with the safe bet, and I'm saying AJ Styles. Mainly because of the fact that they are still promoting WWE 2K19. He's still the cover guy. It would be a shock to have Samoa Joe win it.
Oh my god.
Considering
Please give it to me.
But I also think that they are going to probably have AJ Styles try and beat CM Punk's record. At this point,
I really want WWE Champion Samoa Joe.
I think he's going to win the title in the future.
I want it now, though. Whining.
This is the part of the show.
Internet whining.
Jeez Louise. Let's move on to the next matchup. The six women's tag team matchup. The Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey taking on the Riot Squad. Hopefully...
Riot Squad. It's not going to happen, but... Yeah, I'm going with the Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey because I hate myself and it's what's going to happen. And oh my god, I don't think they could have made a team full of more people that I fucking hate! But I really want the Riot Squad to just fucking eat them. Like, literally, like, just eat them!
We're both in agreement. I'm going with the Bellas and Ronda on this one. Because there's no way... I do not see them doing a deal where, Nikki turns heel on Ronda yet. I think it's going to happen on Edition of Raw, and that's going to build up to Nikki versus Ronda at Evolution. Because that's one of the main matches they're trying to promote. Honestly, I'm okay with that at this point. I can accept it. Nikki's gotten better. I'd be certainly okay with it. And it definitely would be a really good clash of polar opposites, because you would have Ronda as the tough, badass, against Nikki, who represents a lot of what the older women's division was all about, the glam, the classiness, all that kind of stuff. So it really does seem to make sense. So, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I suppose.
All right, we have another 6-man tag team matchup here, in which we have the Shield taking on Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. I'm going with another risk here. I'm picking the dogs of war, Braun, Dolph, and Drew. I think that they need the victory, and Braun definitely needs momentum going into Crown Jewel in November. This is where you build it up, and honestly, this will be another good matchup where they build up Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. The Shield, they're really good right now. They're in a spot right now where they could lose, and it really wouldn't be like a hard impact on them.
No.
So this victory has to go to Braun, Dolph, and Drew, in my opinion.
I don't think it's going to go to them. I agree that it does need to go to them, and it's funny you mentioned Crown Jewel, because I got some fucking opinions on that. But, I don't see the Hollywood Monsters picking this one up. I'm sorry, I gotta go against them. I can't help it. I know what would be good for the show, and I know what I want to see, but I also know that more often than not with WWE, I do not get what I want to see, so... maybe it's me playing it safe, but I'm gonna play it safe.
Fair enough. Well, I think that this next matchup is basically obvious on who my pick is going to be. It's the singles matchup to determine the number one contender for the WWE title, Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. Who have you got and why?
There's a part of me, there's a really bad part of me that just wants The Miz to win over Daniel Bryan forever. Just for the salt. Oh, I can season all my food. But, no, I think they're finally going to have it close out. I think they're finally going to have Daniel Bryan start closing in on ending the feud with a victory. So I think it's going to go to Bryan.
I'm going with The Miz because I still think that this is going to be a feud that builds up all the way to WrestleMania, and I think that would be the best place to end it at this point. It doesn't deserve this kind of ending to happen here at Super Showdown. I'm sorry, but I'm still going with how my predictions going. I think that The Miz is going to be the one that ends AJ Styles' WWE title reign. Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble. It makes poetic sense. Daniel Bryan versus The Miz at WrestleMania. Bryan gets the WWE Championship off The Miz. He accomplishes, being the champion again, and he also beats The Miz finally after losing to him so many times. Honestly, it's one of those things that does have kind of like this Stone Cold and Rock kind of feel to it, where it's like now Daniel Bryan, he's just trying. He is just chomping at the bit.
His way up.
He's getting so close to beating The Miz, but just one moment this close. He is this close, and I think it's the chase that makes this feud so much better, because Bryan is doing everything he can to get that victory. In the end, though, like I said, I think The Miz is going to win this matchup, but I think that it's going to evolve into the WWE Championship matchup. If it's one of the main events of WrestleMania, God, take my heart away.
I swear to God, if I got Miz versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE title at WrestleMania, I don't even care what the rest of the show is. The rest of the show could literally be Vince McMahon rubbing his nutsack in my eyes, and I wouldn't even care. It'd just be like, you know what? My God, the smell is awful, but I can't wait for Miz Bryan.
All right. We have another tag team matchup here. We have Bobby Lashley and Jonathan Q. Cena taking on Elias and Kevin Owens. I'm loving what they're doing with Kevin Owens and Bobby Lashley, but they bring back Cena. There's no way that they're... Elias, Kevin, I love you. I want you to win. But it's going to be Lashley and Cena. Fuck.
Yeah, it is.
Let's move on from that one because that's just bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is.
It could be a lot worse.
This is fair. It has been a lot worse. I mean, just look at Raw's rating. It's a salty wound, but at the same time, it's an accurate salty wound. All right, final matchup of the night being Triple H with Shawn Michaels in his corner taking on The Undertaker with Kane in his corner. These two men facing off one last time. The build-up for this has been really good. They've been rumoring that Shawn Michaels might be coming back.
No.
Kane is probably more likely going to be doing a couple more appearances, even though he's a mayor of a city now.
I'm sorry, but do not I retweeted this a while back, but Brandon Stroud put it really well. I don't remember the exact wording, but the meaning behind it is essentially don't bring Shawn Michaels out of retirement just to rehash stuff he's already done. I personally, I was hoping his retirement would be one of those that stuck. Fine, I get it. Some, Saudi Arabian prince or whatever is flinging all the goddamn money at the world. Fine, I get it. Everyone, whatever. Everyone needs payday. But, just do something different, at least. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be that person. If people are, really happy about it and their nostalgia, feelers are going crazy, that more power to you. I don't want to drag anyone down, but for me, I'm just you ain't gonna do something new, don't come back. I don't mean to be that kind of person. I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's Shawn fucking Michaels after all. But give me something new. If I find out, hey, he's going to, I'm just going to say it. The one match that a lot of people would love, HBK versus Seth.
HBK versus Styles.
Bye. I need to change my pants.
Right.
Excuse me, pants need to be changed.
All right.
Oh, God, yes!
So, what was I going to say? The Triple H versus Undertaker. It seems pretty obvious. Right now, at the same time, though, it doesn't seem that obvious. Because, here's my thought process going into this. I think that they are going to do the rematch between Undertaker and Cena at WrestleMania. And honestly, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Because the way that it ended at WrestleMania, Cena, he didn't take her seriously, took him off guard. this time around, he can say, like, I'm now focused. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I can take on Taker. And honestly, it works because Cena and Taker can work well together. Taker doesn't have to worry about, doing crazy stuff like he did at WrestleMania 29, which is still, honestly, the best Taker matchup since, the streak ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will go that far because Punk and Taker did a really good job. People was like, no, Triple H and Undertaker at WrestleMania 28 was better. No.
It was a good match. It was a great match. Like, that like, the end of an era match, which, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I'm not really feeling the Triple H Undertaker match. Like, to me, this is we had our end of an era match. I feel like I'm getting our twice in a lifetime match now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it kind of diminishes the end of the era.
And I'm a big fan of the end of the era match. Like, is it the best match I've seen with Taker? No. Is it the best of the streak? No. But it was so goddamn good. Like, I don't even care. Like, Shawn Michaels as ref, just when fucking Undertaker kicked out of the X mark, about lost my mind. And by about lost my mind, I mean I lost my damn mind.
Sorry, my co-host Victor Bell was just...
No, it's all good.
Because I was talking about the Dark Phoenix trailer. I still got to watch that in its entirety because there's some opinions about that. But anyway, Triple H and Undertaker... I'm going to go with the safe bet. I'm going to say Undertaker.
Oh, yeah. Taker all the way.
As much as I think that, Triple H needs a victory again, because at this point, he is, losing every single matchup that he is. I don't think he's won a matchup since... Goddamn, when was the last time he actually won a match?
Hell if I know at this point.
I feel like it was Cockblock. I mean, Roadblock a few years ago.
It was Cockblock. I'm not correcting myself. I said it right.
Yeah. I think that was his last time that he had a major victory was at the...
That's over a year ago, isn't it?
That was before WrestleMania 32.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah, because remember, that was when Triple H was champion, and there was a build-up to him and Roman Reigns.
God, that's a couple years ago, then. Holy shit.
Unless they mentioned something on, a dark match or something like that. I'm talking, marquee matches. He has not had a big victory since Roadblock. Even since... We could even go as far as say WrestleMania 31, which I know. We're still salty about that shit. But it still proves a point that, for all the times we're like, oh, Triple H buries everybody. It's like, dude, have you seen how many times he's won in the last few years? He doesn't have that good of a track record.
No. Good Lord, no.
He does not. So, for those that are thinking Triple H buries people nowadays, yeah, I know. NXT and the fact that he is very much winning every match he's been in the last few years, let that sink in a bit. Alright, so those are the predictions for Super Showdown. Crown Jewel, we'll get into that more when we get closer to it. We still got to get through Super Showdown. We got Evolution going on next month. Actually, Jesus, it's already October tomorrow. That's insane.
Oh my God, that's right.
We are in the midst of a very unique month, you guys, because you can definitely expect them to plug, rightfully so, WWE Evolution like crazy because they deserve it. Because we're getting Trish Stratus back, we're getting Lita back. Bring some more women into this equation, and I will be happy. Feel free to bring Jacqueline back. Feel free to bring Jazz back. I know you're not going to get Gail Kim back, but if you could bring some other really good... Bring me Chelsea Green. I would love that so much.
See, the more you want it, the less likely it is to happen.
I know, but let me dream, damn it. Zack Ryder, you lucky bastard. Literally, I keep watching her videos and her stuff on Twitter, all the stuff that she does to Zack Ryder, just tormenting the guy. It is funny, but it's one of those things where it's like, well, she's not doing more damage than WWE did during his U.S. title run. So, there's that. Alright, guys, that is going to do it for this edition of the Game Changer for This Week in Wrestling. Thank you so much for joining us here. So, for Agent Cooper, I've been Nate the Effing Great. Be sure to check us out on Spreaker.com as well as on YouTube. I am trying to get us on Spotify as well as iHeartRadio, so definitely take a look out for that, see if it happens. But I'm also going to be working out this week to get us back on SoundCloud. So again, look forward to more of these deals. And also, you guys, we reached about 600 likes on the Facebook fan page. Thank you so much for all the support that you give. And honestly, you guys
rock.
are
You're
amazing.
fantastic.
It's absolutely amazing, you guys. And like I said, before the year's over, if we can get this up to 1,000 likes, then I'll do something really stupid, because apparently you like it when I'm very miserable. So, yeah, just relish in that fact that it could be just about everything. I might have to do a Twitter poll. Maybe I'll do something else. Who knows? Yeah. So for that, we're gonna go watch a scary movie.
Literally.
Yeah, literally, as the title implies, scary movie. So, have a good one, you guys, and we will talk to you in the next episode. Bye-bye.